Welcome to Miniature Wars. Today what I want to do in honor of the My Mini Factory sale that's going on this month is to talk to you about several of my favorite science fiction creators. Now this is going to be special because these are the guys I have actually subscribed to for a long time and have put my money down on, and I really enjoy the things that they do. So without further ado, let's get started. I intend to talk about 4 of them today, and I'll have the video chapters marked below in the description so you can switch to the ones you want to see right away. Number 1, my favorite creator, is That Evil One on My Mini Factory. I've been a member of this tribe since October of 2021 and really enjoy the things that he creates. One of the things I like most about it is that the miniatures can be used as a canvas to create things that you want to do in addition to the things that he manufactures. And what exactly do I mean by that? He gives you not only the STL files, both in supported and unsupported fashion, but also the object files so that you can go through, take bits and pieces out and make your own. He's also got a couple of videos up on YouTube where he and other people talk about how to do that with Blender. And I have not played much with this, but I think it's a very valuable function to have. As you can see, he's offering 50% off in conjunction with the My Mini Factory sale. This is one of the best prices that I've seen him offer since I have been a subscriber. Now don't get me wrong, I've participated in several of his Kickstarters and several of the frontiers he's run here, but this is a good price and you should jump on this right away. You've got 25 days left to take advantage of the offer. I expanded this so I could see the entire thing. That's why this initial part of the sentence is cut off. But as you can see, he is from Canada and he has done creative work in other industries. So why is this a special creator? Number 1, the introductory pack, or the welcome pack, is pretty good. It gives you a range of his figures to include some of his newer ones. It also includes right down here some of his small line of miniatures. As you can see, he not only communicates well on his tribe, but also on the Discord that he maintains that supports this. Here he shows what you can get in August, and these are some super models. I get a kick out of this one, the Mule, because I can remember back when the Marines were using the Ontos and some other things, and the Army was using the Gamma Goat, if you can believe that. He's also got several things that other manufacturers have, but which are quite good. The models are available in Lychee and pre-supported. He has a large community on Discord, over 1,300 people, and there's a lot of good help and assistance and display of the works that he does. He also will occasionally do some terrain that you can throw in, or that he throws in and offers as something special for members. And as you can see, some of these are clean so that you can customize them, you can add bits and pieces on and modify them the way you want without a lot of work. His prices, I think, are fairly reasonable. He's got a $15 membership fee monthly, and that's in line with a lot of the other creators that I have seen. He also has a commercial license available, which then gives you a discount in the store. One of the nice things about him is that he will take commissions later on, and he can modify things that he's done in the past. So a lot of the miniatures he's got coming up right now are modifications of files from his Kickstarters that he's done specifically for users that want to have them modified and pay for them, pay for his time, and then he turns around and puts them up so the rest of us can buy them. My son and I game a lot, and he likes to paint a lot of blue, if you understand my meaning. So I end up playing the other guys. That Evil One has provided me with a wonderful range of options to play in the form of the Lunar Auxilia, and this is probably my favorite army that he does. I've spent a lot of time in the last several days trying to find all the miniatures in the Lunar Auxilia that I still don't have, and it's been quite a chore. You can see a selection of my miniatures here that I've painted so far, and I really like painting them up. They've all been done in pretty basic colors and then washes or enamels, and I can't tell the difference between any of the styles. The red ones, the last ones, I tend to use as blood pack, and he provides faceplates so that you can use those, merge them, and I can produce miniatures that look like the famed Blood Pack. The army I started with here is the Roman Ad Astra. I saw this on one of the My Mini Factory Frontiers campaigns, and I picked it up before he pulled it off a sale. I've been buying a lot more models from this line as well. I love the look of Romans in space. I think the uniforms are well done. I think the miniatures are well done. He provides snipers, special weapons, special troops, but also vehicles that go along with all of his lines. And here you see one of my favorites, which is this small Humber-like armored car. Being a former treadhead, I had to have additional equipment on the vehicle to make it look and feel authentic. So I picked up some of those things off of Thingiverse for free. The next line that I enjoy are the Heck Ghosts. The backstory here is that you've got a world that was virus bombed, the survivors retreated underground, and now they're coming back for payback. This was part of a Kickstarter that the Evil One ran that did very well and is now up on My Mini Factory. It's an excellent line and are multi-part figures so that you can mix and match and put figures together how you like them. There are a number of head and weapon options and guys who come in capes, have standards, and so on. You can see some of my paint jobs here. I really like these figures as well, and I've spent a lot of time printing them off and putting them together. One of the neat things about them is that they handle different color schemes very well, and you can see some of them right here. I painted these guys up so that they would look like they were nighttime or urban camouflage, or maybe even on a moon that has no life on it. I'll let this video play out, and then I'll move on to the one more thing I want to talk about here when it comes to that Evil One. Then I'll go to the next line that I recommend and that I spend a lot of money and time with. If you like these lines, and I really don't know why you shouldn't, there's also another option where you can get them and print them off in a different scale. This is the small line. These are the same miniatures resculpted and reworked so that they can print an 8mm scale. If I remember right, he said that they could go from 6 to 15 millimeters without any loss of detail or any issues. Note in this image that you get the regular infantry, you get the bases, you get the vehicles, and you get the aircraft. These are a great deal if you're paying full price for them, but now you can get them at half price, which is $25 for an entire army. Okay, and next up is Ghamak, and I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that right or not. I don't think anybody knows how to pronounce it well. I've been a member of this Patreon since November of 21. I've bounced in and out of the fantasy tier, but I have been a consistent member of the science fiction tier because I like the things that he produces. I have to admit that one of the things I like most about this Patreon is spiky knights. These are a lot of fun to build and to print. I've done several of them. I would have put a picture in here, but I don't know which ones I've customized and which ones I haven't, so I didn't want to give you the wrong impression about what their final models looked like. I'm pretty sure I've put together the Colossal Knight and both of the smaller knights, along with the multitude of weapons and options that you can put on them. I like these because they fit in well with other Titans I have, where you can guess where those came from, and they seem to be pretty solid. Once you put them on a base, they don't act like they're going to be can be knocked over or ruined. There are several other things I like about this creator. The first is that the science fiction tier is a reasonable $10 a month, and it stayed that way. If you go with both the fantasy and the science fiction, it's $17.50 a month. They've started releasing more and more heretic and possessed and corrupted miniatures than they had in the past, and I'm all in for those. I do, however, like the robots that they've released, and also the new human-style infantry that they've got coming up. All the crew serve weapons, all the regular infantrymen, they all seem to be well designed and well thought out. With the release of Skaventide in the new Spearhead game that Games Workshop is included in that, I've been looking for some alternatives so I can try to play the games without breaking the bank and find out what miniatures I might actually want to purchase from GW and which ones I don't. I came upon these when I was looking in my libraries, and these are the Spartan casts which I had when I first started back with Ghamak back in 2021-2022. Some of the inconsistencies in the miniatures don't bother me as long as I understand which ones they are. And how can you not like chariots that are pulled by lions? I'm also in the process of trying to organize my swarm miniatures in a way that I can find them on my mini factory. I'll probably stick them over in a collection so that I can see what I have and actually figure out what I want to print. So now you've seen several of the reasons why I like Ghamak. Reasonable price, big spiky titans, chaos troops, human infantry, swarms, and of course the Spartan cast. So now we move on to another creator. Next up is everyone's favorite, One Page Rules. I've been a continuous member of their Patreon since December of 2021. Like the other people who I've subscribed to, they have a unique style. I like the fact that they offer both science fiction and fantasy for one low price of $10. I also like the fact that they create spaceships for me to use in Battlefleet Gothic, which I'm still a big proponent of. The terrain they produce varies in size, so you can have small, medium, and large. They have bases that match the offerings that they send out, and they have measuring devices, objective tokens, and more that you can use in your own games. The other thing I like about them, which says a lot about them as people, is that they have guest sculptors come in periodically who give away some of the things that they do, and they give other people credit and refer their clients to other people. I think that's a class act. Their rules are solid, they're updated all the time, they're free. They have an online army builder, they have an online wiki. So all in all, these guys hit all the right buttons for anyone who wants to start or continue in 3D printing and wargaming. The Patreon releases are pretty substantial. I get them delivered to my mini factory account, and they're there just before I even know it. As you can see, the numbers are pretty tremendous here, and they normally offer 2 separate factions, which they will expand over the course of a quarter. After the Patreon and Tribes release, what they'll do is they'll put these armies together in various bundles that you can go through and purchase if you miss some or if you're just brand new to One Page Rules. As a subscriber, you get a whopping discount on these, and right now with the sale it's a 70% discount, so you can amass a lot of miniatures very quickly. They also provide paper miniatures and paper terrain, so you can experiment with factions on the cheap before you actually commit to printing them and painting them and investing that time and effort. The other thing I like about One Page Rules is it's got an outstanding online community, a lot of videos so you can learn how to play and follow what people do, and chances are you're going to find people that like to play this set of rules no matter where you go. The next manufacturer whose stuff I really like and have subscribed to is Heroes Infinite. They are also known by the name of Raging Heroes and are available on my mini factory, but I think you should look into subscribing on their site. They offer a range of fantasy and science fiction miniatures for a wide variety of factions. I began my subscription when they had the Chaos offerings 1 and 2. I'm not intimately familiar with the charges that my mini factory has, but I can see why people would prefer not to use their service and instead go with their own. I think their choice in this case is a little bit odd because it looks like it's using Kajabi as the back end or a learning and course development program, which is not really what I would think is suitable for this. But if it works for them, I think that's great. They offer 2 tiers in their membership. One is a $10 a month tier, and the other one is a $16 a month tier. I went ahead and subscribed for $16 a month just because I think you get more value out of it in terms of the troops you needed, and that's kind of what I was looking for, are more troops and special characters to help me flesh out armies I already had. The other reason you might want to consider subscribing on their site is because they don't offer a subscription on My Mini Factory. Instead, what they do is they just sell the files that they have used in previous releases from their website. This is not a critical comment, but merely an observation. If you go to the website and you look at the prices there, you'll see that for the Chaos Blood and Steel packs, the prices are pretty astounding, $197 and $177. Whereas if you go and you're a subscriber, an Overlord subscriber, you can get these same packs for $47 with all the figures included. I think this probably says something about the cost they have to pay and what they hope to get out of this, and how they really would like to interact directly with their customers rather than through a third-party site. There is an active Discord, and there's also a comments section on the website where you can make comments and get really good response from the people that are working in customer service. I think the miniatures are nothing short of phenomenal. Here's a list of the things that caught my eye when I first showed up there. You can see there are a number of science fiction offerings, and I got in when it was still early, and there were only a few there. But I have purchased the Grim Darkness of the Inquisition Parts 1 and 2. I have the Chaos Across the Galaxy, and I'm looking at getting the Arcadian Elves. I generally don't do elves in my collections just because they don't interest me. I mean, I don't like them. I don't like to paint them. I don't like to game with them. But looking at these from Heroes Infinite, I'm looking at the Titans here, which you see is like the Wraith Guard, and then I'll show you the Titan here in just a second. These are absolutely terrific miniatures, and if you go to On Tabletop over in England, John printed off one of these and showed how to assemble it, so you can actually see how this looks when it's completed. Every month they offer a selection of heroes, troops, monsters, and more. One of the nice things about the Overlord level is that you also get a centerpiece and some terrain as a part of the deal. When I get to the bottom, oh, look at that demon, isn't that great? When I get to the bottom here, and a Titan spiky stuff, and then when you get all the way to the bottom, what you're going to see is some of the terrain, and a lot of it is modular, so you can print it off, build what you want, make it as large or as small as you want, and it looks really pretty good. So I can, without hesitation, recommend this as another creator that you ought to subscribe to. Thank you for hanging around. If you liked the video or got something out of it, please like it and subscribe to the channel so it will encourage me to continue to do more. Thank you for your time.